Training camp is that stage every football fan lives for, where potential meets opportunity and players either rise or fall under the intense spotlight of competition. Right now, the Chicago Bears are deep into their camp grind. And as expected, the coaching staff is starting to get a clearer picture of who's going to step up and make an impact when the regular season kicks off. Amidst all the noise and hustle, a few players have really stood out, and one name in particular is catching the eyes of coaches and teammates alike: Nan Wright. Wright's journey to this moment is pretty interesting. Originally drafted in the 3rd round by the Dallas Cowboys, many around the league expected him to be more of a depth player or a camp body, someone who fills out the roster during preseason but doesn't necessarily carve out a key role. But that narrative is rapidly changing after a recent stint with the Minnesota Vikings, where he faced some of the toughest wide receivers in the league week after week. Wright has come into Chicago ready to prove he's more than just a name. On a depth chart, he's competing fiercely for a starting spot at the cornerback position, a role that could see him lining up across from Jalen Johnson, forming what could be a formidable duo on the Bears' defense. What's fascinating about Wright's rise is how quickly he's made an impression not only on the coaching staff, but also within the Bears media circle. Just a few weeks ago, reports started surfacing about his increased snaps with the first team, especially in the absence of Johnson during some practices. That kind of opportunity can be huge for any player trying to break through, and Wright has seized it. Teammates have also been vocal about his performance. Safety Kevin Bard, who's been one of the quieter leaders on defense, praised Wright's ball-hawking skills and his ability to create turnovers. Those are exactly the kind of traits coaches crave in a defensive back. And it's no surprise that head coach Dennis Allen has been openly excited about the competition unfolding in the secondary. Allen's comments highlight exactly how open things are at this spot on the roster. He's emphasized the importance of competition, stating that the job is completely up for grabs when it comes to the defensive back 2 position. You can almost feel the intensity at camp when he talks about the need to put multiple guys in that role, push them to their limits, and let their performance on the field speak for itself. That kind of environment can elevate players who thrive under pressure, and Wright is clearly one of those guys. His size alone makes him a rare commodity. Standing at 6'4" and around 200 pounds, he has the physicality to match up against the NFL's elite wide receivers, who are often smaller but incredibly quick and shifty. That combination of size and skill is something the Bears desperately need in their secondary. But what really sets Wright apart is the experience he gained facing top-tier talent in Minnesota and Dallas. Going up against receivers like Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb week after week is no easy task. These are some of the best wideouts in the game, known for their speed, route running precision, and ability to make big plays in critical moments. For Wright, those matchups weren't just challenges. They were opportunities to hone his craft, sharpen his instincts, and learn how to read the game at an elite level. He's spoken openly about how much that time helped him grow, describing it as a positive opportunity to develop and improve. The mental aspect of that experience cannot be overstated. Being able to study and go head-to-head with some of the best receivers on the planet is invaluable preparation for a player stepping into a starting role. Wright has talked about how facing a competitor like Jefferson pushed him to stay aggressive, work on his technique, and maintain high intensity in every practice and game. That mindset is exactly what the Bears need as they try to build a defense that can compete against the high-powered offenses they'll face in the upcoming season. And the Bears coaching staff clearly agrees. Defensive backs coach Al Harris, who previously worked with Wright in Dallas, has been outspoken about his excitement regarding Wright's development. Having a coach familiar with your strengths and weaknesses can make a huge difference, especially during camp when players are adjusting to new schemes and trying to secure their spots. Harris has noted Wright's ability to help call plays in the field, showing leadership that's rare for a player in camp competition. Of course, the final decision will rest with Dennis Allen, but the fact that Wright is making noise at this stage speaks volumes about his potential impact. The bigger picture here is that Wright's success at camp is a sign of intense competition within the Bears secondary, something that can only help elevate the team's overall defensive performance. When players push each other to be better, it raises the bar for everyone, And with Wright emerging as a legitimate contender for a starting role, the Bears are gaining a weapon who combines size, skill, and valuable NFL experience. With the regular season just around the corner, all eyes will be on how Wright continues to perform in practice and during preseason games. His ability to translate his camp momentum into on-field production during actual games will be crucial. But if what we've seen so far is any indication, the Bears may have found a defensive back who can provide stability and playmaking ability in a spot that's been somewhat uncertain in recent years. Moreover, Wright's presence adds a new dynamic to the Bears' defensive strategy. His size allows the team to match up differently against bigger receivers or tight ends, potentially freeing up other defensive backs to focus on speedier threats. That versatility is an asset coaches love because it creates more options in game planning and in-game adjustments. It also forces opposing offenses to reconsider their approach when they see someone like Wright on the field, knowing he can challenge even the best receivers physically and mentally. It's also worth mentioning how Wright's role extends beyond just defense. He's been involved in helping the Bears prepare for opponents by playing scout team defense during practice. This means he's part of the group that mimics opposing offenses, helping the Bears starters get ready for game day. His knowledge of different offensive tendencies, thanks to his experience with Minnesota and Dallas, makes him an even more valuable asset behind the scenes. All of this paints a picture of a player who is not only fighting for a spot on the roster, but also becoming a key piece in the Bears' defensive puzzle. The fact that coaches are already talking about him so positively and that his teammates are recognizing his contributions shows that Wright has made a strong impression. Now it's about maintaining that level of play and continuing to grow as the season approaches. As the Bears prepare to take the field against the Miami Dolphins this week at Soldier Field, it will be interesting to see how Wright and the rest of the defense perform under real game conditions. Moments like these are where camp stories turn into season-long narratives. And if Wright can bring the same intensity and focus he's shown so far, Chicago fans might just have a new defensive star to rally behind. Now shifting the spotlight from defense to offense, there's a young player who's been quietly turning heads during Bears training camp and steadily winning over the fans. Wide receiver J.P. Richardson. Coming out of TCU as an undrafted rookie free agent, Richardson has taken a path that many players dream about, but few successfully navigate. Despite not hearing his name called in the draft, he's shown enough skill, determination, and versatility to make coaches seriously consider him for a spot on the 53-man roster. What's impressive about JP is how well-rounded he is. He is not just a wide receiver who runs routes and catches passes. He's a utility player who excels on special teams, particularly in the return game. That kind of versatility is invaluable for a team looking to maximize depth and find players who can contribute in multiple phases of the game. For an undrafted rookie to carve out a niche like that, it says a lot about his work ethic and football IQ. Physically, Richardson stands at 5'11" and weighs around 192 pounds. Not the biggest guy on the field, but what he lacks in size, he makes up for in agility, speed, and tenacity. His athletic metrics from the combine and pro days reveal a player who's quick and explosive, with a vertical jump of 34.5 inches and a 3-cone drill time of 6.71 seconds. These numbers demonstrate his ability to change direction sharply, accelerate quickly, and get off the line of scrimmage. All essential traits for a receiver who needs to create separation and make plays in tight windows. Richardson's speed, clocked around a 4.45 second 40-yard dash, means he can stretch the field when called upon. But what really stands out about him is his route running and his knack for finding open spots in coverage. During camp, he's been catching the eye of not only the Bears wide receiver coach Antoine Randall Ellis, but also offensive coordinator Declan Doyle. Doyle has praised JP for his intentional approach to learning the playbook, highlighting that understanding the offense is the first key to unlocking his potential on the field. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates. Our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the NFL and stirred fierce debate across the league, rumors are swirling that star wide receiver Justin Jefferson may be on the verge of joining the Chicago Bears, while nothing has been officially confirmed by either franchise. Several insiders have hinted at ongoing conversations between Jefferson's camp and the Bears front office. The news, which broke late last night through anonymous sources close to the situation, has already ignited passionate responses across fan forums and social media platforms. Many are calling this potential move a game changer, not just for the Bears, but for the entire NFC North. The idea of Jefferson in navy and orange is almost unthinkable for some Viking supporters who see him as a generational talent that should have been the cornerstone of Minnesota's future. While the Bears have remained tight-lipped, the buzz around Hollis Hall suggests something big is brewing. Whether this is an elaborate smokescreen, a negotiation tactic, or a genuine possibility remains unclear, but the idea of Jefferson catching passes from Caleb Williams has already electrified Chicago fans. If true, this potential acquisition could signal a bold new era for the Bears while leaving the Vikings faithful grappling with disbelief and frustration. The sense of betrayal reportedly brewing in Minnesota is palpable. According to sources within the Vikings organization, the front office is both shocked and outraged at the prospect of losing their star wideout to a division rival. While Jefferson's contract negotiations had seen their share of complications, no one anticipated a scenario in which the player would even entertain talks with the Bears. Some insiders claim that the relationship between Jefferson and the Vikings upper management had quietly deteriorated over the past year, particularly following failed extensions and what has been described as a lack of vision for the franchise's future. Jefferson, who has long maintained a diplomatic front in public, may have grown weary of the team's stagnation and their inability to deliver playoff success. The Bears, in contrast, have shown aggressive intent in reshaping their roster around their rookie quarterback, and adding Jefferson would undoubtedly be the centerpiece of a bold offensive rebuild. Vikings fans, meanwhile, are struggling to process the idea that their brightest star could be wearing the colors of their most hated rival. This development, even as a rumor, has already shifted the emotional landscape of the NFC North and could have long-lasting effects on team dynamics and fan loyalty. From the Bears' perspective, the potential arrival of Justin Jefferson would be nothing short of a seismic shift. A franchise long plagued by offensive inconsistency and a revolving door of underperforming receivers could suddenly find itself with arguably the best wideout in the game, pairing Jefferson with rookie quarterback Caleb Williams, who enters the league with immense expectations, could form one of the most dangerous duos in recent memory. Sources close to the Bears organization suggest that GM Ryan Poles has been exploring ways to fast-track the team's competitiveness, and the acquisition of Jefferson would undoubtedly send a strong message of intent. The idea is not just to build for the future, but to win now. And what better way to do that than by acquiring a proven playmaker? Financially, the move would be ambitious but not impossible, especially given the flexibility provided by a quarterback still on a rookie contract. Analysts are already debating whether this move, if it materializes, could instantly transform the Bears into NFC contenders. The fan base, starved for postseason relevance, has embraced the rumor with cautious optimism, hoping that the whispers turn into something more concrete. Jefferson's hypothetical signing would be historic, sending a ripple effect throughout the league. While Jefferson has yet to make any public statements regarding the speculation, his recent social media activity has only fueled the rumor mill. A series of cryptic posts and likes on Twitter and Instagram have led many to believe that there may be more substance to these whispers than initially assumed. Jefferson, who is typically reserved and calculated in his digital presence, has interacted with several Bears-related accounts in recent days, an unusual pattern that has not gone unnoticed by fans and analysts alike. Some have interpreted these online behaviors as a subtle way of expressing dissatisfaction with his current situation, or perhaps as a teaser of what's to come. While this is far from confirmation, NFL players have increasingly used social media to drop hints about potential moves in recent years. Additionally, a photo of Jefferson dining in downtown Chicago surfaced online, adding another layer of intrigue to the developing story. Whether these breadcrumbs amount to something real or are merely coincidences remains to be seen, but they have unquestionably intensified the public's fascination. As the speculation grows, every move Jefferson makes is being dissected under a microscope, and the possibility of him donning a Bears uniform feels simultaneously surreal and tantalizing. For the Vikings, the fallout of this rumored defection could be profound. Beyond the immediate talent vacuum Jefferson would leave behind, the symbolic blow of losing a franchise cornerstone to a divisional adversary would be devastating. It could signal a deeper cultural and strategic crisis within the organization. One, that players, fans, and even ownership would have to confront. The front office, already under scrutiny for its handling of past personnel issues, would likely face immense backlash. Even if the move doesn't materialize, the mere idea that it was considered seriously enough to gain traction raises uncomfortable questions about internal cohesion and player satisfaction. Meanwhile, if the Bears succeed in pulling off this monumental coup, they not only gain an elite receiver but also deliver a psychological gut punch to their rivals. The balance of power in the NFC North could dramatically shift, with long-term implications for recruiting, strategy, and fan engagement. For now, all we have is speculation, but it's the kind that feels dangerously plausible. As both teams remain silent, fans are left in limbo, clinging to every rumor, every tweet, and every whisper, waiting to see if this NFL bombshell will detonate or disappear into the fog of off-season myth. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. Indeed, can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.